Once a collector, always a collector. Barry just can't get enough of his fire engines. Space may be limited, but the collection just grows and grows. Each machine, new or old, needs a little bit of TLC.
I bought this about 3 months ago at a Sotheby's auction, and to start on this machine and to bring it up the condition to the brass brewery machine would probably take about 3 years. I had a very similar machine to this. The body came off, engine came out, and every single nut and bolt was cleaned, painted, restored, in absolutely perfect condition. It was assembled, put back together over about a period of 3 years. And I went on holiday over the Christmas period, and the building that it was in, attacked by the security guard by accident. He put a pie in an oven, and the oven set fire to the building. And so when I came back, it was just soul destroying. In that 3 years of absolutely meticulous work had just gone for the sake of a pie being heated. For it to be lost really has been very heartbreaking.
Heartbreaking, yes, but a good example of the care and attention that goes into the renovation of these magnificent machines. Where there's muck, for the fire engine enthusiast, there's brass. Acres of it, and it's nearly showtime.
We are busy because we're leading up to the main event of the year, which takes place this weekend. And it's a major fire engine rally in the northeast. I'm taking 8 fire engines along, and at this event it's important that everything works, that it's not just for show. It's an event where all your equipment will be tested, we'll be squirting water, we'll be putting the ladders up, and really it's the premier event of the year, and I suppose everybody likes to present the machines in a good light for this event. It's meant every weekend we've been coming down to the shed, early start Saturday mornings, late finish, and on Sundays as well. Normally I have my friend Dave here helping with me, and it's a great deal of effort, but as I said, it's the #1 event of the year, and it really is well worthwhile. In total, there's probably going to be about 70 preserved fire engines, and the 3 local brigades come along and they show off all their new appliances as well. So maybe in total there might be about 100 machines altogether. And it takes place near the River Tees, so there's plenty of water to pump from. And so on the Saturday evening we all go down to the Tees, take the fire engines down there and play at being little boys and squirting water. It's quite a good fun event.
Little boys, but big dreams.
Paul always liked playing at firemen. I don't say that disparaging in any way, but I rather prefer the machine themselves rather than putting fires out. But Paul loves to dress up.
But you get him into uniform occasionally.
But as I say, for me, it's the machine itself. I mean, obviously, all my machines work, they all work as they're meant to do. But it's the pleasure of owning a machine and maintaining it rather than
showing it off to the public.
And showing it off to the public.
But sometimes you've got to show off to the public, and this weekend, Barry's machines are out to light your fire, not put it out.
When you're taking so many machines down, it's very difficult to have them all in the condition that you want them to be in. But I'd rather take them down even if they weren't perfect, just to give the pleasure for other people to see them.
This event is Fire Engine Heaven. It's a hot gathering of people with one thing on their minds: fire engines. No green goddesses here, just red ones. There are more fire engines here than you can shake a hose at. All beautifully turned out, brass gleaming. These are fully working machines, and over the 2 days of the event will be put through their paces in a variety of displays and shows. It's hot stuff for the fire engine buff.
When we go to this event, there'll be all kinds of people here. There'll be people who have always wanted to be firemen and they're fulfilling their ambition by having a fire engine. And you'll see them walking around in their uniforms pretending to be firemen. And then there'll be people who are interested in old machines, maybe not so fanatical as myself, maybe just with one machine, but they've spent years of love and devotion to it. And so you'll see some machines in absolutely perfect condition, and they'll be upset if there's a finger mark on them. Machines which are far better than even when they left the Dennis factory. And then there's the middle of the road person who maybe has 2 or 3 machines. Enthusiasts devote their life to fire engines, and people who you'd meet in the street and never really know that they were fire engine enthusiasts, ordinary people.
Ordinary people with an extraordinary passion.
And what's nice when we go to these events is that you'll meet people, mainly old people, who maybe were retained firemen during the war, except they're getting a lot thinner on the ground now, but people who maybe were firemen in the 50s and 60s, and they say, oh, I remember driving one of those. And they have to have a look around, and they'll tell you a story about when they were a fireman 40 years ago, and how the engines would perform, and what they would do with them. And it's nice listening to the old stories.
For Barry and his fellow enthusiasts, this is a time to show off and swap stories.
How many you got altogether now then, Barry?
I've got 25 now.
Have you?
I know it sounds impossible, but you know, you say you're always going to be no more, then one more turns up, and you think, well, that's the one for me.
Well, that's it.
And it just keeps on going on like that.
Nice.
But the shed is pretty full now, so I really do think it's going to come to
Running
an end
out of
very
space.
soon. Running out of space. That would be the
Running
limit.
out of space.
Yes.
Running out of space, maybe, but never pride.
There is a sense that you would like people to admire them, and it's very nice when someone comes up to you and just details on one minor thing which you've spent a lot of time doing, and say, oh, that's clever, or doesn't that work well? And it's those little tiny moments which mean the most.
Tiny moments, but a huge event for the true enthusiast.
People bring all their old junk along, and although it may be old junk to them, they might just have the part that I've been wanting. Yeah, and that's the size. That's what I'm after. Same bezel for the 60 bar.
A friend of mine's actually just stripped one out. So
There's other people there with old stuff that they don't think's worth anything. But if you really want it, it really is worth something indeed. It's been a good day so far. It's been a bit hectic. And now we're going to go into the arena, provide some water for the young children to squirt. We're going to use the hose reels on either side of the machine just to provide almost glorified hose pipes to shoot down targets. It's very popular with the children at the event. When we're pumping for the children, we only have 5 bar of pressure. But later on tonight, we're going to have a play down at the river, and you really need to hold on tight. You really need 2 people holding onto the hoses. It's more fun, but it's fun for grown-ups, the higher pressure.
They're all big kids at heart. The day culminates in a little drive down to the River Tees. This is the part of the day that everyone has been waiting for. It's playtime, so unravel your hoses and let battle commence.
Best part of the day. But you can see how Peter there really has to hold onto the hose, and even the dog's enjoying it as well. I suppose when you were a boy, you had water pistols, and really this is the grown-up form of water pistoling. I mean, it is just good fun. I mean, there's everybody here, they're just enjoying themselves. Plenty of water, big powerful water pistols,